Hare Krishna. I am presently in Chennai, formerly known as Madras, in Tamil Nadu in South India. And this is the temple of Partha Sarathi. It's quite a well-known temple here. It's said to be, the structure as it is more than 1200 years old. And it has a great ancient history, even far preceding the time that the present structure of the temple was built. The current structure, just the temple's complex itself, spans at least 2 acres, and there are multiple sets of deities here inside. And also there are 5 sacred ponds, the Pushkarnis all around. Actually, this suburb of Chennai is called Triplicane, but Triplicane is an anglicized form of the Tamil word Tiruvallikeni. Tiru means sacred, Ali means lilies, and Keni means a pond. So the sacred ponds associated with this river, with this temple, they had many many lilies. And as you know, especially in South India, all the ancient temples have a pond, at least one, associated with each temple. So that's separate, apart from the 2 acres, that's across the street. So this is a magnificent temple, very spacious and built with the ancient stone architecture, with all sorts of carvings on the pillars and the walls and so on. The deities are also made of stone, also magnificently carved. The main presiding deity here is Lord Krishna, Partha Sarathi, and there is Rukmini Devi with him, and also Lord Balaram, and also his brother Satyaki, in addition to having Pradyumna, that is his son, Krishna's son, and Pradyumna's son Aniruddha. So they're all there on this altar. And the interesting thing about these set of deities is that Parthasarathi or Krishna has a mustache. One never sees Krishna with a mustache. At least I haven't seen such a deity anywhere else. But here the custom is that Krishna has a mustache to inspire courage to others, because he was in the battlefield. And also, even though he was in the battlefield, he wasn't going to participate in the battle in any active fighting role. So there is no Sudarshan Chakra with him. So on the altar here, there are 3 generations. There's Krishna and Rukmini and Balaram and Satyaki, and then there's Pradyumna, and there's Pradyumna, his son. Also Vedavalli. Vedavalli is the form of Lakshmi, who is said to have been the daughter of Bhrigu Muni. And she married the sage here, and she lives here as well in this particular form. There are many other shrines inside this temple complex. There is one of Ram Darbar, Sita Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman. There is one of Lord Ranganath, who originally resides in Sri Rangam. Then there is a deity of Lord Narasimhadev. There is also a deity of Varahadev. There is one of Andal, the famous lady devotee, one of the 12 Alvars of the Sri Sampradaya. And there are similar shrines here in this. And in each of them, the Sri Vaishnava Pujaris are worshipping the deities very nicely, with great devotion. And one thing you'll see here is lots of flowers, as you can see from me. So every altar that we went to, the pujaris are very kind, and they placed all these Mahaprasad garlands, Nirmalya, and I'm still holding on to them just because they are so sacred and so pure. And Uddhava says that one should keep the Mahaprasadam garlands worn, touching the body, for a considerable period of time. So in any case, this temple is very, very nice. You can still see the culture here. although the surrounding areas have become very crowded and it's like a marketplace, uh, nevertheless, this temple still retains its holiness. And I wish that something very serious could be done with this whole temple area and the regions around it in the way that has been done in many other major temples across the country. This is such an ancient and sacred place, and we do have to preserve our ancient temples and the temple culture. So, for those who are more interested in economics, well, if you develop this as a temple area with its own economics, then definitely the economy of the place will also flourish and prosper. But purely from the point of view of establishing and spreading devotional culture, temple culture, this is an excellent opportunity right in the heart of a big bustling metropolis like Chennai to have a magnificent temple. It's like going back in time. It's like time travel. You're in the middle of this whole big city, modern city, and you suddenly enter into a different universe altogether, right in the middle of it. So I think it's so nice, it would be so nice if some authorities were to take care of this and develop this whole surrounding area into a nice place of pilgrimage, so that pilgrims will come from all over to have darshan. And it will be a great boost for the spiritual culture here, and also incidentally for the economy and everything else. Hare Krishna. This is Sarvananda Prabhu, who has been our host and who has brought us to this temple and arranged for us to go around and have very nice darshan of all the deities. And he has told me many nice pastimes about this place, and I simply repeated what I had heard from him. He comes here very often to this temple, and maybe he would like to say a few words more, something that I missed out. So yes, Sarvananda Prabhu.
Maharaj has pretty much covered everything. Whatever I told him, everything he is able to repeat immediately. He has photographic memory. So nothing much more to add, except that this deity was originally worshipped by Vyasdev. So this is from Satya Yuga, and then after Vyasdev, Bhrigumuni worshipped, and then the worship has been handed. That's about all. Maharaj covered everything else. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. And you can see the Gopuram of the temple, and this is a typical architecture that you will see here in South India. Of course, now the areas around this have all become either been rented out or they're used for commercial purposes. And we'll also, if possible, briefly take a look at the Pushkarani here, the lake. If you remember, I was mentioning that this place is called Tiruvallikeni. It used to be called. The original Tamil phrase, now called Triplicane, the anglicized form, was because there was a lake full of lilies. So it is very sacred because it is associated with the temple. So we'll just go there and have a brief look at that holy lake, that Pushkarani. As you can see, this whole road is so crowded here, very noisy with rickshaws and dogs and human beings running here and there. Can we go inside? No. So we've come a little late, so probably no entry so far, but you can have a look at the lake from here with these nice steps leading down to it. It's quite large. I suppose it would be over an acre at least. this one pond. And I suppose there used to be many water lilies here at some point, which is why this place got the name. So originally, again, I think that the entire area, not just this temple complex and the pond, but all around also must have been temple property. Maybe it still is. And if there's some way that it can be used more for the temple service, and the original temple culture could be further revived, that would be so wonderful. Hare Krishna. This is one lake, but this says there were 5 lakes before, so where are the other lakes? Any idea?
No, the lakes.
This is the only lake here. Okay. So this public road must also be temple property originally,
Yes, the whole.
and now it's all taken up. Okay. It needs somebody with a strong political will and a strong devotional sentiment to be able to transform this place externally and make it like a nice place of pilgrimage without commercializing it too much, without making it lose the devotional flavor of it. Hare Krishna.